Hiya, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
You want to go do a podcast?
Sure.
Jump in.
Ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and mansters, frightmares of all ages, and everyone else, welcome to Binging Barbie. I'm your host, Jay, and with me I have my co-host. Have you lost your mind, John?
No, I still keep this in this little jar.
This is a podcast about movie tie-ins for toy franchises, and this week we are continuing our deep dive into the Monster High series. Today we will be talking about the 9th movie in the series, Monster High Frights Camera Action. And
Have
with
we
us
really
to
seen
discuss
9
this one,
movies?
yes, apparently.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, with us to discuss this one, we have our very own vampire queen, Emma, my sister.
Hello.
Vampire.
So, tell us a bit about your Monster High history. Are you familiar with the franchise? Or
Not at all.
you did mention having a book at one point
Although I
about
don't
it.
think it was Monster High.
Okay. There was a book that I found online at the library that had a cover that I recognized.
Then maybe it was
So maybe
Monster
it was.
High.
But yeah, so not really any familiarity with it. Did you kind of like have a general idea of like the name?
Yeah, I've seen the name and some of the characters before on
Okay.
like advertisements or here or there or something.
Yeah. Not nearly as well versed in this as the Barbie movies, though.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was released on March 25th, 2014, directed by William Lau, who longtime listeners will recognize as the director of many Barbie movies, including Barbie, Princess and the Pauper.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yep. So he's hopped over to Monster High for this one. And then we also have segment director Sylvian Blaze. I'm not entirely sure which segment he directed, but there is a Walmart exclusive short little thing called Welcome to Hauntlywood that apparently came on the Walmart DVD that I was not able to find online. But I assume a bit like the one that came after Scaris, where they kind of had their own little epilogue. So yeah, I don't know if that's the segment that this person directed, but that's my guess.
Maybe.
And yeah,
I don't know.
the story here is written by Adu Payden and Dan Serafin. We've talked about Adu Payden before. He's been a director on some of these, a writer on some of these, a producer on pretty much all of these. And Dan Serafin was a writer on Johnny Test and Big Time Rush. Do you remember Big Time Rush?
Oh.
No.
They were like the One Direction competition that everyone forgot about.
Definitely
Yeah.
no. I barely know One Direction.
They had like a Disney show or something.
Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
once again we have music by Steven Argula, so.
I remember Big Time Rush.
Okay.
I wish I didn't. Yeah, no, Disney had the Jonas Brothers, and Big Time
Okay.
Rush was their Nickelodeon version of that. But, Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Anyway, the plot goes like this. Lord Stalker has a problem. He has been leading the vampires for 400 years as they search for the queen. Only problem is that the vampire's heart, the stone used to find the new queen, was stolen by Stalker's niece, Elizabeth, 400 years ago. With the vampiric council breathing down his neck, Stalker decided to pick the vampire queen himself, choosing Draculaura. He uses a fake vampire's heart to convince everybody that Draculaura is actually the queen. Draculaura is initially thrilled to be the vampire queen, but soon uncovers Stalker's real intentions. He wants to use her as a puppet to subjugate all other monsters under vampire rule. Draculaura and the ghouls go on a globe-trotting adventure, following clues left by Elizabeth for Draculaura and Rebecca Steam's father. They are hoping to find the real vampire's heart and the true vampire queen. Eventually, the clues lead them to Hauntlywood, where vampire actress Veronica Von Vamp is filming a movie about the vampire queen. Von Vamp is initially reluctant to help, but when Stoker shows up and threatens Dracula, Von Vamp reveals that she is actually Elizabeth. She is the real vampire queen who has been hiding to avoid Stoker's manipulations. She also reveals that she hid the vampire heart inside Rebecca's chest. Ready to take her place as the true vampire queen, Elizabeth banishes Stalker. Everyone attends the premiere of Elizabeth's new movie, and Dracula finally gets her vampire powers. Hooray for all.
Yeah, real globe-trotting adventure, which I wasn't expecting here. You know,
No.
the title is Frights Camera Action, so I was expecting something more Hollywood-based. But no, they're going all over the place. They go to London and New Orleans.
Yeah. New Orleans, Transylvania for a bit.
Oh, yes. And there's a lot of new locations and a lot of new characters. I mean, after so many movies, as we've been talking about, set in Monster High, it's nice to kind of finally be getting out and about and seeing more locations.
Not only that, we get more lore about the background of some characters and histories. But,
Yeah.
like, again, what the heck are the humans doing? Like, why are they the ones, like, in control of this world when it seems like everything
Are
about
they?
this world is about the... I don't know! Like, they seem to be the ones who are...
Wait, there's
The
humans?
monsters seem to be one hiding away from the humans, but, like, the humans only seem to just be, like, one part of the world, but apparently they have control or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what the official... I was just assuming at this point that it's like two separate groups that like the humans are essentially just another like group of people that kind of have their locations but don't actually necessarily rule over the world. It's just
But
kind
see,
of like
that doesn't make sense. Because, like, none of the locations are human-based. They take up the same location space,
yeah.
all the same, but it's like,
Although the world map is very odd. They're not a real world map.
well, you know, what can you do?
Yeah, Emma, as a newcomer to this franchise, what were you kind of thinking as this story was unfolding?
About what?
Well,
Well,
about-
I thought the initial premise was really interesting. Like, this guy is supposed to have the vampire heart, but he doesn't, so he needs to go find just a random girl to be queen.
yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Did you have any thoughts about like the world building, or were you just kind of going with the flow?
Just like, yeah, whatever. Because it didn't seem like very much world building. It was just like normal high school with monsters and normal Hollywood with monsters, you know?
Okay,
So,
yeah. Yeah, which there are humans in some of the other movies and they play major roles and do kind of seem to hold some kind of major influence on the world, but I don't know.
The more we get into this series, the more it seems confusing about any of this.
Yeah, as Emma was saying, I think the political intrigue kind of is an interesting way to kick this story off. We have Stoker is sort of this somewhat fascist ideology, and then we have this vampire court with all of the drama going on there. And Dracula, of course, getting wrapped up in all of that.
And then you have the subplot of the film, which is just Edward versus Jacob.
Yes, the classic Twilight debate. Now, I never got into that debate. My debate was always the PETA versus Gale from the Hunger Games debate.
Yeah, well, that debate was over by the time this film came out, and so it definitely was a little bit dated to see that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that doesn't seem right. Yes, you're right.
Who do you think, PETA or Gale?
I'll have to reread the last book again.
The
I'm
Peter
on
and
Team
Gale
PETA.
one is definitely much more appropriate for this time period, but again, they probably wouldn't know. Like,
I'm
they're
Team PETA.
sure.
I don't have I never read Twilight, so I've seen 3 of the Twilight movies, though that was simultaneously. So I don't really have much thought on Edward versus Jacob.
I've seen enough of just the debate to just not care anymore. And just seeing it brought back up here, it's like, oh no, it's infected Monster High too. Oh.
I thought this was a fun sort of commentary on it. It's a bit of like a satire, but it's not a mean satire. It's just like, oh, this is kind of silly. Then they go.
I thought it just took away from the main plot of the film. Every time they cut back to this, I'm like, no, go back to the adventure. Like, and sure, yeah, they managed to just tie it to the main plot somehow, but
yeah,
you did not need all of those scenes. We don't need Monster High, but of course we had to have our other ghouls in here because they were all sidelined for this main plot.
Yeah, I think I will agree that like they cut back to it a few too many times. I do think it was how far it escalated. Like when they went into cute court, that was when I was like, okay, now I'm invested in this. Like they've taken it to a point of absurdity that is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And like having Twyla be the judge is just hilarious because she could not care less about any of this. That having Ghoulia present evidence and like all of the
about the whole quote unquote plot twist of this film. When did you ever at any point in the film figure it out before the film got there?
Yes, I figured it out pretty much from they're walking out of the theater and it's like, oh, she isn't the real vampire queen, and I'm like, there hasn't been a vampire queen in 400 years, and I was like, okay, yes, she is the real vampire queen.
Okay.
I forget where I figured it out, but I think it was at one point when they cut to the posters, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I figured out the Rebecca part pretty early on as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because they kept leading like little foreshadowing, which, did you catch the line about foreshadowing?
I did, yes.
Claudine's sister is a writer, and so she has this line about like foreshadowing and symbolism and how a good writer would be putting that in there. It's like, ooh, I recognize the writers calling themselves out here as like, we're doing the foreshadowing.
I don't know if it was so much foreshadowing. It was just like, we know many other stories that are similar to this. That's like, okay, what are they going to do? It's probably going to be this. And they did.
Yeah.
But it was
some of it was foreshadowing. The panning over to the posters was definitely.
Yeah.
No. When they panned over the poster with the heart, I just laughed because it's like, oh my goodness, the heart's in the poster. Are you serious? Like, how do you not recognize this person? But whatever. Yeah. No, it was something. Unlike other times where sometimes I'm just waiting for the characters to catch up, I think this one presented it enough where I just guessed it, mainly not because I'd figured it out. It's more like, okay, what is the most likely choice? It's probably this. But yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely invested, even though I figured it out. I think watching the characters figure it out was kind of fun.
I was just very curious about why Rebecca's team was the one chosen to go. It's like, oh, can I bring my friends? And like the ones that she chooses are the ones who are less likely to figure it out immediately, which I thought was very interesting. It's like, huh, okay. But then you have Rebecca's team. It's like, huh, I know, Rebecca's a cool design, but it's like, why is she here? Like, why not anyone else? Like, why her? But then she started becoming more of the plot. It's like, oh, okay, good, interesting.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But still, it's like, oh, why her and not Frankie or Abby?
Yeah. We'll have to get into Abby.
We'll get into that.
I was thinking it was hilarious when Elizabeth was saying he hid it in the safest place possible, Rebecca. How many movies ago was it that Rebecca got smashed to smithereens?
and was lost for a century.
Yeah. I'm going to put my precious artifact on the safest ship imaginable, the Titanic.
I mean, to be fair, at that time they would have thought the Titanic was the
Yes.
safest ship.
Which
But
means at some point the heart was just lying on that cornfield for someone to find.
Yeah. I mean, it was the vampire's heart was reminding me a bit of the heart of the ocean in Titanic. So
Ah, okay.
just the name of that for a jewel.
Okay. Whatever you say.
But yeah, I think everything gets wrapped up pretty well here. When they go to Hauntlywood and it's like, or Hauntlywood, it's like all of the different subplots are getting brought in and the characters are getting their own little arcs fulfilled. And then we get the whole big revelation of what's going on. And Gulia shows up and is like, hey, these people are the same person.
Yeah. No. Like in preparation for this film, like we were just thinking, it was like, okay, so we're definitely gonna go to Hollywood at some point in this film.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to figure out, okay, what kind of monster pun name for Hollywood are we gonna get for this film? I don't know if any of us said Hauntlywood.
No, we didn't.
No, we
that
said
was not
all the worst names.
Yeah.
Hollyboo.
Hollowwood. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the story was just kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like, again, we got out of Monster High a bit, which is always nice when we get out of Monster High. Now,
Yeah.
Emma, I know you didn't care as much for the story. Do you have any thoughts to share? Just kind of didn't connect with you?
Well, yeah, it didn't really connect, and there were a lot of decisions characters made that I was like, why? Like, starting out from the beginning, the bad guy, whatever, he chooses his enemy's daughter as someone to serve as his queen, and it's like, you don't think she has some of her dad's thoughts and will go against you when you try to take over?
Which, yeah, I think they have to do that for the because they need Draculaura in there. I don't know if Stoker was previously established in the mythology, but yeah, you'd think they would be able to orchestrate it a bit better.
Whatever.
Yeah. And also, like, anytime we have guests on, John and I are immersed in this. We are watching, we just finished not that long ago. We're still releasing episodes on it, but we finished Barbie Dreamtopia. This... Well, just...
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like anything that is better than that is currently sitting pretty high in our estimation.
Plus, we were grading this on a different scale than just a typical film, so
yeah.
Yeah, I was coming off of like watching some other good stories, and it's like, okay, this one's really bad.
Oh yeah, I gave the story a 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it.
I gave it a 3.6.
I gave it a 2.
All right.
I think especially if you're coming in, especially with this as your first Monster High movie, there's not a lot of getting you involved with the characters.
Yeah. Like the whole plot B, I was like, I don't know any of these characters, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Do you want
now, before we move on, we wanted to take a quick second to talk about our new Patreon page. Just went live a few weeks ago, and we already have all kinds of exclusive content, including show notes, our bonus miniseries on the Barbie TV shows, and early access to next week's episode, which will be Monster High Freaky Fusion. We have a returning guest, Samariel, who has been on the podcast a few times before, so if you're curious to listen to that, you can listen right now. It's only $2 a month to join, and you'll be helping us make this show the best it can be. So go to patreon.com/bingingbarbiepodcast and start supporting the show. That's patreon.com/BINGINGBARBIE Barbiepodcast. So yeah,
Moving on to
onto the characters.
characters.
Yeah, Draculaura is the protagonist here.
I'm glad that she has something more to do than just be just the romantic one of the series.
Yeah. She has a roller coaster of emotions here. She goes from like being bullied to then thinking she's the vampire queen to then realizing she isn't and having to like take responsibility and solve all of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
It felt really good to see her kind of grow a little bit here and mature a bit. We'll see if any of the changes stick around, but
Will she use her bat powers? Maybe minimally.
Didn't
We'll
she
see.
turn into a bat in a different movie?
I feel like she did. I can't remember.
That was confusing me. I was like, doesn't she have her vampire powers or whatever? Did you have any thoughts on Draculaura?
I really liked like her integrity. Like almost as soon as she figured out she wasn't queen, she's like, okay, I'm going to try to fix this. People have to know, which I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she was probably the favorite character of all of them, but she's also like the only character I got to know, I feel like, in the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that she would be, if you got to know all of them, if she would continue to be your favorite character.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You might like Twyla most. I
Who's
feel like
Twyla?
that would be she's the one who is judging the cute court.
Oh, okay.
She like hides out in the shadows and is like watching everything going on, but not necessarily getting too involved. And then she'll like come in and have something smart to say.
Sure.
But yeah, we also have Claudine here, who is, as usual, just kind of a supportive friend to Draculaura.
Yeah.
Even though
She
she's
was
in so
there.
much of this, she doesn't get many opportunities to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're missing a Claude. I guess the last one was kind of a Claudine movie, but I still feel
Mostly
like I'm
her
not
sister,
getting.
though.
Yeah, I'm not getting enough of her as a character still.
Right. We got a new
No.
sister for her in this one.
An older sister who was kind of fun. Her
Sure.
being a writer was kind of an interesting thing. We also have Cleo, who continues. She really is, at this point, my second favorite after Abby. She's just so much fun. And here, I forget who says it, but it is so true that being a diva is Cleo's superpower.
Yeah.
I think Draculaura
It's
was
not-
when I said that.
Okay, yeah.
And I'm just thinking about the scene where she gets them into the whole
Hauntlywood?
into Hauntlywood. I was thinking,
Yeah.
Is this a good message for kids? Is this a good role model? Are we essentially creating Karens with this? The ones who will get their way? It's like, I get it for what they're doing for in this plot, but like this could be taken the wrong way.
You see, I feel about Cleo the way Hoodoo Voodoo feels about Veronica Von Vamp,
Yeah.
whatever her name is. I'm
Yeah.
just like, whatever Cleo does, I'm there for it.
It was certainly entertaining for sure, but I had to question that.
Yep. So yeah, we get a lot of Rebecca Steam here.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd get more of her after her introduction, and I thought it was
Yeah.
really cool. Even though I did question earlier, why is she the choice to go on? But I'm glad we got to see a little bit more lore. We got to see a hint about her father. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Interesting that they connected it to everything else.
Yeah. She was just kind of a fun person to have going along. I like when they're like sneaking around and she's like using steam to like lift her feet off the ground so that she isn't making any footstep noises. And
There's a whole lot of vagueness to her. It's like, I feel like there's something familiar about this. And it's like, why though? I get that she has the vampire heart, but what's so familiar about this? Like, was she there? Because she was
Yeah.
created in New Gorleans. So,
Yeah,
is
I
it
don't
just the
know.
vampire heart that's like sensing that, oh, there's residue DNA of the character that was here? Maybe
Well,
that's what.
oh, that makes sense because the vampire heart Stoker talks about how it leads people to the queen.
Right.
So it would make sense that it's like leading Rebecca to find the clues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that would be my theory there.
Sure. Yeah. It was just worded very oddly, though.
Yeah, because I think she was mentioning it's like, oh, I feel like I've been here before. Which made me wonder, oh, did she like, was she along for the ride and they got her memory wiped? But no, that doesn't seem to quite be it.
Nope.
Now, rounding out our main group, we have Hoodooed Voodoo. Who, this was probably your first time seeing him, right, John?
Yeah, is he from the shorts?
Yeah, he shows up in the shorts. He is a voodoo doll that Frankie makes to be her boyfriend,
Oh.
who then that relationship doesn't go anywhere. Which I think this movie is very queer coded here. I think in an interesting way. I've heard people don't like him in this movie, but I thought he was kind of fun.
He was a bit
It's just
much at
kind of
times.
he's very dramatic and very much into just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I know enough people like that, and I know I can be a bit like that sometimes. So I was just like, oh, this is kind of, and a neat energy to have, because we don't usually have the guys tagging along for these adventures.
He kind of somewhat is just a Heath replacement.
Yeah.
Because he is this, it's the same voice actor as well.
Yes.
So it's like, oh, it's just Heath, but like with a higher pitch.
Yeah. I don't know. I enjoyed having him along for the quest.
Sure.
Yeah, I think he was a pretty fun character.
I guess better him than Torhalai.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we also have people who join the group as they're going along. We mentioned Claudia, who is Claudine's sister. Then we also have Honey Swamp and Viperine Gorgon. Now, I like that. I mean, this is like an anime where they're picking up characters as they're going along.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, come join our merry group of, or an RPG or something.
Or a road trip movie.
Or a road trip movie, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, come and join our crew for the next little bit. And then they all find their own place in Hauntlywood to
good for
fulfill their arcs. Yeah.
Although Gorgon was already working there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like that was a kind of weird part of the story, though. Like, suddenly they're in Hauntlywood, and it's like, oh, it almost felt like, the leading up to the final battle kind of thing, but suddenly they were dropping their characters off. Like, oh, we don't need you anymore. Go fulfill your dreams.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
It felt like Draculaura was pushing all her friends away. Like, I don't want you anymore. Here, go do this other thing.
Yeah, I think for me, since it's like we understand the core group, I didn't quite get that feeling. But yeah, if those characters are as new to you as the other characters, then I could definitely understand how it would feel that way. That was when we did Fairytopia, the first Fairytopia movie. Where is it Alina? And she's constantly going, no, I will do this by myself.
Yep.
Yeah. For sure.
Because that one, she's also picking up people along the way.
Against her will.
Yeah. But yeah, back at Monster High, we have Frankie, Laguna, Gulia, Abby, Operetta's there. A whole bunch of people are there.
Yeah. We've said this multiple times. Like, in order for some characters to stand out, you have to sideline the others. But here, a lot of them were sidelined to just nothing roles.
Yeah. I think the subplot, I had fun with the escalations with it, but I really think that Abby got the short end of the stick.
I know, that's what I was thinking. It's like, there are many scenes where I'm like, where's Abby? Like, why
Yeah.
isn't she here? Why is, like, Rebecca Steam here and not Abby? Like, Abby's not even in the intro, which made me sad.
Yeah. And yeah, it's like, even in the subplot, because I was thinking, oh, she's there and she can like call out how ridiculous all of this fighting about these two boys is, because that's her whole no nonsense perspective thing. Is she's like, I don't care about this, I'm gonna point it out and make a joke about yaks. But she only got one joke the entire movie. I think she had
Well-
like 3 lines. She had fewer lines than operetta.
Yeah.
Now the one joke was kind of funny when it's Torale and what's Howleen are
Yeah.
like fighting over who gets to sit next to the actor, and then Abby's like, no, he's with me, I'm taking him away. But I wish they had built up to that more, because if she's going the entire time like, I don't care about this, you are all so stupid for caring about this, and then at the end she has that joke, that payoff would have been so much better,
Maybe.
I think.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because Emma, this is your first one, and you didn't really get to see much of Abby, who's our favorite character.
Yeah, and like all the characters who stayed at Monster High, I was just like, oh, they all seem one-dimensional, and I don't really care about any of them.
I mean, every Monster High character is kind of one-dimensional. You'll occasionally get like Cleo gets a little bit more depth to her, like there's more to her being a diva than just she's a diva.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, most of them are a little bit on the one-dimensional side anyway. But yeah, when you're getting like, not even, I mean, you don't get much of Frankie here.
No.
You get nothing of Abby. Gulia gets a little bit, but it's not a lot to do. Laguna's just kind of, I think she joins in the argument, which doesn't really make sense with her character. She's usually a little bit more emotionally intelligent than that. Yeah, I think after the last 2 movies, which did a really good job juggling all of these characters, I think, these writers haven't been writing the screenplays for all of these, so they're kind of having to learn the lessons that the writers of the last one already kind of had learned. I did like, of the characters that stayed back, I did like Twyla. I thought it was fun that they made her the judge.
But she had like maybe 2 scenes of the film.
Yeah. And then Gulia figuring out the twists before everyone else. That was kind of nice for her to do.
Although I felt like it took her a long time to do that. I thought that was how they're going to solve that much earlier on in the film. But then they just kept not doing that until like near the end of the film. It's like, oh, okay, finally you've done that. I was expecting you to do that so much sooner.
Yeah. Now, the boys here, which is, in this one it's Deuce and Heath and I guess, oh yeah, Gil talks a bit about this. And Manny Tor, who's kind of the bailiff of the courthouse, which I thought was kind of fun. But they do not understand at all this entire debate between Edweird versus Alucard.
One of the boys did say, oh, they look like the same person to me, but I think he could have only said it, like, just said it once. Instead, he said it, like, 2 or 3 times. And I was like, okay, that's getting a bit old. We know they're the same person.
Yeah, but it's like, well, what do you mean? Like, one has blonde hair, the one has black hair. It's like, there's clearly a difference between the two. And that's probably just an animator thing.
Yeah.
Just,
And it's not like, because the Edward versus Jacob debate, they don't look all that similar. Nor do Peta and Gale. Like, I get what they're going for, that the boys are just kind of so unaware of why this would even be an argument.
That's me, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, Jacob and Edward, I don't care. It's Peta versus Gale. That's the one that I'll get. But yeah, I like that they figured out early, but again, they don't have much to do here. I feel like give their screen time to Abby. Have Abby be the one making these snide remarks, not them.
And the actor was bald.
Yes. I didn't realize that was the actor until like Torale and Howleen started fighting over him. But yeah, next up we have, speaking of actors, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Who I like her arc here and how it parallels Draculaura, but she probably shouldn't have ran away.
Well, like, she wanted to be an actress, you know? She wanted that Hollywood dream.
Well, didn't she run away because she thought that the bad guy would be too strong and, like, not let her do what she wanted?
Yeah.
So she'd become a puppet like Draculaura was going to be?
Yes. The one problem I have with that, though, is that A, Draculaura, or I guess the two problems. A, Draculaura didn't become a puppet. B, she's the vampire queen. She can banish him. She does it as soon as at the end of the movie. Felt kind of like, that I don't think they quite explained adequately enough why her running away was. And
yeah, I agree too, because it seemed really weird that she stepped up at the end.
Yeah.
Because she was so intent, like, even with Draculaura saying, this guy's going to take over the world. She's like, no, sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, she's like, oh, okay, I guess I can.
Well, it's been
Draculaura
400
gave a good
years.
speech.
Maybe she's had time to just regret her decision a tiny bit.
And Draculaura gave a whole big speech, and since she's the protagonist of the movie, when she gives a whole big speech,
maybe I wasn't paying enough attention, but like I don't think we got enough of insight into how Elizabeth was feeling at that moment, so it kind of seemed to be out of nowhere. Like I don't.
Well,
think
they're still trying to preserve the twist. They're trying to preserve the twist up until the last moment.
Yeah, but it makes it seem like an empty twist when you don't see any of the character thinking about anything or.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you. But I think that's the reason why there isn't more emotion.
You'd think that Rebecca Steam would just like want to get closer to Elizabeth when she's in the room with her.
Yeah.
Like they waited until the reveal where she's like, hold my hand, and it's like, oh, hey, I'm glowing. It's like, no, like the vampire heart would definitely be detecting that much sooner.
Yeah.
Like she was getting vague recollections just in different countries. She probably would have just had a stronger feeling when she's in the same room. But I get it. They needed to preserve the twist until the end.
Yeah, I wonder how, because they could have done it earlier and had made a bigger deal of that, rather than Draculaura trying to convince the actress to tell Elizabeth to step up. If it was actually Draculaura knew that she was Elizabeth and directly appealing to her. Now that makes Elizabeth a more complicated character morally, because she's like, no, I want to stay an actress and not get involved. But that way they could have revealed the twist a little bit earlier and had played a bit more with the emotion there. Now we also have in Hauntlywood the director of this movie, Tarantino.
Yep.
I thought that was just kind of fun. Which, I guess, at this point, if you're like, who's a director that you're going to name drop? That makes sense.
Probably Tarantino in the kids' film.
Yeah, but he's like 2014. This is 2 years after Django. Before The Hateful Eight, it's like everyone's high on Tarantino.
Are they?
Also, it's just an easy name to put Scare into.
I guess. Sure.
Yeah, thinking of the other ones, like, I guess he could do like Martin Scorsese, but he wasn't. I guess Wolf of Wall Street would have just come out.
Like, what were recent directors at that time? Abrams was doing a lot of stuff at that time.
Abrams, yeah, but he's not quite a household name in the way that like Spielberg or Nolan.
Whatever. Moving on.
Now it would be like Nolan or Gerwig or something.
Sure.
Gorwig,
Oh.
Greta Gorwig. Anyway, on to the villain here, Stoker. He's a villain.
He's a villain. He
He has
doesn't do a
bad
whole
ideas.
lot.
I like how incompetent he is. Like, I don't know how he's been hiding the fact that this vampire heart has been missing for 400 years. Because he's not doing a particularly good job at it now.
Right.
But it's just kind of fun to have the villain be this incompetent, despite portraying himself as like this mastermind. Which is maybe part of why I don't buy that Elizabeth couldn't have done anything against his manipulations. Because I'm like, he's not a master manipulator.
he is her uncle, so there's probably just the pressure of family looming over her.
Maybe that's it.
And she was young, and culture was much different 400 years ago, I guess.
Any thoughts on Stoker?
I didn't like him. I wish he was smarter.
Okay.
And like he's missing for half of the film because we have Igor, who's in the second half for the most of the film.
He's the buffoonish hench person. Yeah, he just kind of drops his phone. So yeah, I gave the characters a 4 out of 5. I think the main group of characters is really strong.
Yeah, I give it a 3.3.
I gave them a 2. I think it's probably because I haven't seen any of the others, so like all the side characters seem really just not interesting.
Yeah. Now, next up we have the visuals. Which I don't know about you, but I loved all of the new locations.
Oh yeah, they were all fun to see.
Transylvania, I love a good spooky castle, as I think Claudine said, so dark and dreary. I love it! London was fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fog. New Orleans. Yeah. It's the French Quarter. That always looks good. And then this boat, this Bijou on the Bayou, which is not an actual boat. I did look it up, but that was a thing. They did have boats, steamboats that would have theaters on them for performances.
Yeah.
And I just love the aesthetic of it and wish I could watch a show on it. Hauntlywood was fun. They had a bunch of Monster High versions of the various famous locations.
Yeah.
What was it, like the Groening's Theater instead of the Grauman's Chinese Theater?
I wasn't reading the background stuff, so I didn't catch any of that.
It was named. They name dropped it.
I didn't catch any of that. No.
But yeah, they had all different. There was the Walk of Fame and.
The Walk of Fame was just the Monster High logo on all the stars.
I missed that. The Hauntlywood sign.
Mm-hmm.
Where else did they go? They went some places. What did you think of the locations?
Yeah, I think they looked really cool. A lot of the references were lost on me though, so
okay.
Sure.
Now, since your sort of first time exposure to all of this, did you have a favorite character design? Or did you not? Did you even like any of the character designs to begin with?
Yeah, not particularly.
Okay. I think we're continuing to see that the characters that were designed for 3D look better in 3D than the original cast.
Sure, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, beyond that, again, not much to say about the animation. I just like the new locations.
Yeah.
I feel like, did you notice the animation being pretty dynamic compared to like the Barbie movies?
I didn't pay too much attention,
Okay.
honestly.
Because yeah, this one was definitely very dynamic, but it did feel a little more. What's a good word for it? A little calmer. We'll go with that.
Okay.
Some of these Monster High movies are animated as if they're like racing movies, where the camera's constantly zooming around and moving, which is kind of fun. But sometimes you don't need that for a dialogue scene. So yeah, I think that may be William Lau sort of stepping in and bringing some of the Monster High style in, but also being a little bit more sort of
Toned down.
yeah. So yeah, I
Mhm.
gave the visuals a 4 out of 5.
And I gave it a 3.3.
I gave it 3.
Okay, so next up we have the performances. We've talked about many of these people here. I believe we have a new person playing Draculaura though, Sue Swan.
Do we?
This is according to the cast list I have here. Might be like last time where we found out that someone was using a different name in the credits. But yeah, I mean, voice acting is always pretty solid. Here we get a lot of weird accents. I wasn't the biggest fan of James Horan as Stoker. I think his accent wasn't quite where I wanted it to be.
It was just like another basic Dracula copy.
Yeah, I think though I've heard better Dracula copy voices.
I thought he was fine.
Okay.
I didn't care so much.
Oh, speaking of Dracula copies, it was kind of weird that a character in the movie was named Alucard. It was not the son of Dracula. Because
That's
Alucard.
too meta for the kids to understand.
Well, no, Alucard is Dracula backwards. Like it's not that hidden. Yeah. And then Cameron Clark as Igor, I wasn't a big fan of either. But I liked his performance as like Hoodooed Voodoo. And I like him in other stuff. So
No, Dracula is the same actress. She just uses another name sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
for
think
me,
we had
none
the
of
same
the
conversation last time.
none of the performances stood out. It was all just basic kids movie stuff. I did not like all of the puns and like shoehorning in horror and scary references and stuff like that.
Okay. I like that stuff, but I understand that you wouldn't. I'm the person who went to see the movie Slaughterhouse in part because of the pun title. Yeah. So
I feel like they just put it in way too much.
Okay.
Like I like it when people replace some like curse words or say like instead of God they say whatever higher deity they have and things like that. I don't like when they change everyday words.
Yeah. Just making everything monster puns is just
Oh. The one I didn't like, it was boovies.
Yeah.
Because especially when Cam Clark as Igor says it sounds very similar to another word.
Oh yeah, children would definitely just giggle.
With a B instead of a V. So when he's talking about how he's never seen one and he wants to see his first one, I was like, oh boy, good thing I have subtitles on here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I gave the performances here a 3.5 out of 5.
Same as me, as usual.
I gave it 3.
So yeah, last up we have sound. Soundtrack again doesn't always quite fit the scenes. I think they keep reusing the same songs and the same tracks, and As I have said before, I'm a little bit tired of it. I did like the little Hauntlywood song that they had, and then also the music for Cute Court was just kind of fun. It was very like
Sure.
Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
I'm liking the new theme song as well. It's growing on me.
Especially for this film, it worked really well. With
Yeah.
like the movie posters in the beginning.
Yes, the movie posters are so good.
Yeah, like Gulia had the Scott Pilgrim one, which was interesting.
Odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't too thematic. I was like, oh, how are those going to tie into the plot? Oh, no, they don't. But yeah, I mean, I don't have too much to say about the sound. Beyond that, I give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, not much to say. I gave it a 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, that leaves my final score at an 18.5 out of 25, which is a 74% or a 3.7 on our 5-star scale.
I have a 16.7, which is a 66.8% or 3.345 star rating.
I have a 12, which is a 48% or a 2.4.
Nice.
Yeah, I could definitely understand why you didn't care for this as much, not having been as
I haven't been
involved in this.
indoctrinated yet.
No, yeah.
I'd put this on a similar level to last week's, where it's like it's better than the average Monster High, but not quite. We haven't gone back to Scarus levels of quality.
I think I enjoyed this a little bit more than Scarus, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still, Scarus is still where my heart resides.
Mm-hmm.
As I've said before, we'll always have Scarus.
Boo.
Indeed. Good monster pun, John. Oh yeah. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Make sure to follow us on social media. We are Binging Barbie Podcast on Instagram and Tumblr, Binging Barbie on Twitter and Serialized, and Binging Barbie, a Barbie movie podcast on Letterboxd. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a 5-star review and go check out our new Patreon over at patreon.com/Binging Barbie Podcast for exclusive content and early access to new episodes, including next week's episode, Monster High, Freaky Fusion. So Mariel's gonna be on with us, so should be quite enjoyable. And until then, be careful what... Wait, whoops. And until then, don't sink into the tar pits that is Hauntlywood. Isn't that a BoJack Horseman thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
Bye.
Possibly.
Bye, Barbie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.